Hey guys, this is Charles from SentiFX. We're going to take a look at Euro USD. Today is February 29th, 2020. Earlier in the week, we were talking about how retail had been long Euro USD for quite some time, and I was expecting a move upward, but we don't want to try to get in too early. Okay, so I have not inverted the colors here. So blue means retail or long, red means retail or short, and that's the same for the relative sentiment indicator. Okay, these are new additions to our SentiFX platform. So we have two new sentiment indicators. One will show retail positioning and let you know when it gets to extremes. And also it can highlight on your chart when it hits those extremes, and it also can show the average price that retail is short or long on the screen. So this is a very powerful sentiment indicator. And we also have the relative sentiment indicator now that basically works like our sentiment analysis tool, in that it shows you the change in sentiment from a period of time. So if you wanted to know how sentiment has changed since the daily open, or in my case I prefer the weekly open, so you can see over the course of a week how sentiment is shifting, that usually gives some telltale clues that something's about to change. Okay, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So I have not inverted the colors here. I left it to where if you see blue, that means retail is long. If you see red, it means retail is short. Typically, I like to invert the sentiment indicator, so that way when I'm seeing red, it means I should sell when it gets to the extremes, and when I see blue, it lets me know to buy when it gets to the extremes. And I define the extremes as anything over 75%, because that means more than 3/4 of retail is on one side. And market makers love to target retail traders, especially when they're overloaded. And just a little bit more about the sentiment indicator. When you see the light blue, that is actually the actual position of retail, and the light red is the actual position short. When you see dark blue, it's the average positioning, okay, between the longs and shorts. And when you see the red here, it's the average positioning. So since retail is more short than they are long, the average position, you can see it with the dark red. So you can see that on average, if you take the two, subtract the longs from the shorts, this is where you're going to be. So the average positioning is still pretty close to the extreme levels. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what happened with Euro USD. So retail was heavily long, okay, and you could see that at this point it was pretty consistent. They were long, 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 and look what price did. It just drifted lower and lower and lower. The average long price was way up here by the 1.097. The average short price, was in the 1.082s to 5s. 1.085. Okay, so this was way beyond the channel. So shorts were winning a little too much, longs were just getting killed. And I'm showing volume profile. Well, since we don't have volume in FX, this is actually market profile. I like this view because it actually shows you how much time was spent at levels, and you can get an idea of when there are impulse moves or liquidity gaps. You could see where the value areas are, and so once I started looking at FX many years ago with the view of market or volume profile, it really opened my eyes to how price actually moves and where it likes to retest, where it likes to fill gaps that happen. Okay, and so that was a very eye-opening experience, because then I was able to see where the trap traders were, where they were able to get out. And so I spent many years studying and experimenting and exploring with market profile and volume profile. And so this really gives you a unique view of what's happening. Okay, so this is basically each one of these areas is a day, how price moved throughout the day, and over time, as time increases, you'll start to see where price moved to, and it kind of creates these normal distribution type scenarios. So all of these are not out of the ordinary as they're drifting down, and there was money to be made on the short side for sure. But then you have a day like this. Okay, and this is a trend day. You know, when you see a clear area that there is almost a void, it's very, very, very thin. Okay, that's when you know that one side was squeezed out. Okay, so people were shorting all up in this area, all in this price range, and then boom, price moved up and closed up here. Okay, so this is really interesting to me because this is one signal that something has changed. You notice the liquidity gap and a move upward. Retail was heavily long for a long period of time. Okay, now when this happened, what's interesting is with our relative sentiment, we can see that retail begins adding to their short positions. Okay, so they were long all this time. Okay, heavily long all this time. But then when a move like this happens and it starts to move upward in the favor of the direction retail was going, they start adding short positions. This is usually a telltale sign that the herd is actually shifting direction. Okay, so after sentiment has spent a long time in extremes, retail squeezed out, price can't move much further down because retail's just in pain for long, but a lot of them have gotten out of their positions. Usually the market makers will go in the direction retail intended in the first place. And surprise, surprise, retail goes the opposite. And so for whatever reason, they started adding to their shorts instead of adding to longs. If they would have started adding to their longs, they would have been able to average in and get out with profit, because this would have been the key sign that things were changing, right? But instead, retail starts adding short. And what happens? Price comes down. It fills in all this volume area. Okay, it retests a volume node here. Okay, a high volume node here. Price comes down, tests where there's trap traders here, and starts moving back out. Okay, same thing again. Day in, day out, right? So it's coming in, it's getting close to this area to test where people are still trying to short, and then just starts moving up. And then look what happens. As all this is happening, as price is starting to shift upward and move upward, you can see that sentiment is actually starting to move down from the longs. Okay, so the longs are decreasing their longs, they're increasing their shorts to where at this point in time the average short is right here, but the retail shorts are in the extremes below 75, which means 75% of retail are short currently. And so look what happens here. Okay, price comes down, goes to the trap traders that were trying to still short here, and bounces right back. It fills this liquidity gap here and moves back up. Okay, and this happens over and over and over again in the markets. After spending some time looking at market profile and looking at the charts, I can see this on the charts without looking at market profile, and I could see market profile with looking at the candlesticks. Okay, because once you start comparing the two, you start seeing where these events happen, where price likes to retest and fill those gaps and respond from. Okay, so I actually had an entry order here and it got filled. Okay, and pulled back up. That's the kind of trades you want to take when retail is trying to short. Okay, I'm looking for long opportunities, and my long opportunity was actually I had an order there and I had an order here. This one did not get filled. Okay, and my stops were down here. Okay, because if price were to move all the way down here, then I'm wrong. Okay, so my stops were actually right here, and it took a while throughout the day on Friday for it to get filled before being responsive to this area. Okay, I was hoping both of these would get filled and then it would pull back up somewhere into this area, and then I probably would have got out with both in the zone. Okay. One other thing I kind of want to point out is if you look throughout the week, look how much with relative sentiment retail is just throughout the week just really adding to their short positions, and look how the actual tides have changed and the retail shorting crossed over right here. Okay, so somewhere between these 2 days is where the short positioning became more on average than the long positioning. Okay, and this is a signal, that the sheep have actually officially shifted sides. Okay, because your average positioning is now at neutral, and now they're leaning more towards the south side. But we got a signal way early on using the relative sentiment indicator. So using these two in combination are great edges that you get in effects that you can't get anywhere else, because once you understand like what you're looking at, which it's pretty simple, you're just looking at their positioning and watching when they shift positioning, you can look at the charts and figure out where you need to get in, where you need to get out. Okay, and I like to get in where trap traders are. As retail is shorting more and more and more, I look to where those shorts could be, and they're at the volume areas. Okay, so in this instance here, all of these folks right here are trap shorts. All of these folks here are trap shorts. Okay, this little volume node here is trap shorts. All of the people here are trapped short. Okay, so anywhere they can get out close to break even, that's areas where I want to get in. I want to take what they have and take the merchandise off their hands, so that way I can get in a direction that they're trying to get out of. Does that make sense? So take a look at this. This was a very good example of when sentiment has stayed extreme for a long period of time. You can scalp and get points, off to the downside still when retail's overly long. Okay, but you have to be ready for this trend type day, for some kind of impulse move, something to change, because it's too long, it's too easy. Okay, the positioning, if you look, if the average retail short, say on this day, is here, and price is moving all to this area, those average shorts are in profit. The market just doesn't let you stay in profit that long. Okay, so at some point, especially like you could see it starting to match up to where the average short and price is in that range. Now it's starting to pull back into that range. Boom, you have a shift up, because the market's not going to just let people take profit for days and days and days and keep going forever. Okay, so you want to wait for those moments where it shifts and you can see the shift in positioning. That's your cue. You want to look for every single long opportunity you can. Even though retail was long, they were long for a very long time. Okay, this is a really long time, many days, right? That retail was holding on long. And so now that we've shifted and price has shown its hand, the market makers have shown what they want to do, and we see the shift, that allows us to know that we can get in wherever there are trap traders, and do that day in, day out, over and over and over until something changes. Okay, when this starts hitting extremes and stays in extremes for a period of time, we can keep getting long scalps or long swing trades, but at the same time we need to be ready for the impulse move down. Okay, we need to be ready for something like this. Okay, with our value areas doing something like that at some point. Okay, and when it does, we want to get short where trap traders are and target stops. Okay, and we'll do that over and over and over again until the scenario repeats over and over. And this is how I trade week in, week out. This is the way I trade. I mean, I can't see the markets any other way since I've been doing this for a very long time now. This is the edge in FX. So, you know, there's no such thing as like a support and resistance line, or, you know, the area is really these value areas, and it's trap traders, and they're just trying to get in and get out and target previous trap traders. Okay, that's what the market makers are doing. They know where all the liquidity sits. Okay, so the liquidity is in a range. Okay, so we can clearly see, let me clear some of this off. Okay, we're going to clear all this off. Okay, we can see, without knowing what orders are sitting there, that there were orders in these areas, right? And so you can call it support, resistance, whatever you want, but the idea is that there were people trying to short here. For every buyer, there's a seller. And retail, we can see, shifted to the sell side. The sentiment is moving down. Okay? We had a signal that retail are adding to their shorts, and we can continue seeing that here. Okay, so as they're trying to short, we know retail is getting short in this zone right here. Okay, retail's getting short in this zone. Retail's trying to get short in this zone. Okay, so as soon as price can come to these trap traders right here or right here, I'm interested in going long. That's what I look for over and over again. And if you look at the candlestick charts, you'll see where these areas are, because you'll normally see like a you know, a bullish bar and a bearish bar, you know, a white bar, a black bar. I kind of keep my charts in white and black. And so like I would just see, you would see a black bar here. Okay, you would see a white bar up, a big one, because it's going to, you know, there's not a lot of time spent in this area, so the move's going to be up, and then some black and white bars in this area, and then another move up, some black and white bars in this area. Okay, and so where you see those areas where it just moved up but didn't bounce around, that's the area where we know trap traders are somewhere below that. And so I get in, and then a target stops above. Okay, and a target stops or value areas above here. And this is how I trade week in, week out. So the sentiment indicators are a huge edge in FX, and it doesn't really matter how you trade. You know, if you want to trade Fibonacci or supply and demand, support and resistance, market profile, trend trade, mean reversion, you know, all of this gives you an edge, because if you understand what retail is trying to do and how price responds to retail, then you just need to figure out, the only thing you need to figure out is where you need to get in and where you want to get out. It's Charles from SentiFX. Hope you enjoyed this analysis. Hope to see you soon.